Blessings, everybody. In this video, we're going to be talking a little bit about the uproar the movie Wakanda has caused among our people, the so-called African Americans. Where we're going to start at is we're going to start with the Israelite community, since the most of this thing is coming from there. What I'm going to explain the two sides of the Israelite community, and being one side as what I like to refer to as the camp side, and the other side being the balance side. Now, on the camp side is where the most uproar is coming from. The most of this thing for Africa saying that we are not Africans. Now, they uphold this 12-tribe chart. On this 12-tribe chart, they have three of the tribes being Negro, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, being in America, Jamaica, and Haiti. And then the other 9 tribes being the other nations of people scattered in lands such as Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and even here in America, such as the many Native American tribes, and Mexico, and nations throughout South America. Now I'm talking about the white-skinned people in those nations, who they upheld as our people. Now let's go to what they believe in as far as in Africa. They believe that we come from the land of Israel, which is not a part of the landmass, the continent of Africa. So they believe we fled from Israel into Africa to the farther exteriors of Africa, being West Africa and the southern parts of Africa. And then prior to the transatlantic slave trade, we were sold by Africans as Hebrew Israelites to the Europeans. So they do not consider us as being Africans. And they do, and for the most part, not all of the camps, but most of them consider the fact, well, it's not a fact, but they consider that there are no Israelites in Africa, but only Hamites. Now, let's go to what the balanced side believe by history and by biblical truth. So, what we believe in is that we do not believe in that 12-tribe chart. We believe by history and biblical truth that the 12 tribes of Israel are of Negro descent. And only one tribe got scattered to the 4 corners of the earth, which is the tribe of Judah. Now, you have certain sects that also believe that a major portion of every tribe got scattered to the 4 corners of the earth. But however, they still believe that all of those are Negro people, Negroes only of Negro descent. Okay, so let's go to what we believe in as far as Africa. We believe also that our land was Israel, but we do not disconnect the land of Israel from Africa. We know that Israel was originally Northeast Africa, although today it is shown on the map as the Middle East. But if you check it by history, it is not. And the tectonic plate separates it, being the land, and place it being the land of Northeast Africa. So where we would tell you is that we fled out of Northeast Africa into a farther area, another area of Africa, being the west coast of Africa, which was later called Negro land, and also throughout southern parts of Africa. And during the transatlantic slave trade, we were sold by Africans as African Hebrew Israelites. Now, let's talk about the word African. Let's get a breakdown on the word African. The word African does not identify anyone's nationality, whether you are an Israelite or a Hamite. It does not identify nationality. The word African only identifies where you come from, what landmass you come from, the continent. So whether you're talking about an Israelite or a Hamite, it does not identify either of us by our nationality, but only the fact of which continent we come from. What we have to understand is that on the continent of Africa, you have different countries, which is the borders of lands. And inside those borders of lands, have different nations by your bloodline. And inside those nations are different tribes, which come from our forefathers, which makes up that nation. Inside those tribes, we have different clans. And inside those clans are different families. And then it's every individual. That's how it is. And a lot of people don't have that understanding. So we are all Africans, okay, but we are not of the same nationality. Again, the word African does not identify anyone by their nationality. It only says which continent you are from. All Israelites are Africans, but not all Africans are Israelites. Okay? An Israelite is our nationality. Now, that's pretty much where this thing is coming from. But it's not coming from the entire Israelite community. It is actually only coming from one side of the Israelite community, which, as I told you before, I call them the camp side, but not the balance side. And again, when I'm referring to the balance side, I'm referring to the Israelites that are scattered throughout the lands of Africa, and also the Israelites who are scattered to the four corners of the earth, being the tribe of Judah, which is the minority among the other nations. But the majority of the Israelites are indeed in Africa. Also, Judah, because only a major portion of Judah was sold off to the four corners. So the majority of the Israelites are actually in Africa. Judah and the other 11 tribes who were never sold to the four corners of the earth. And the majority of the Israelites are there in Africa. And also what we have to understand before I end this short video is that, everybody don't go by the word Hebrew Israelite. Most of the people who go by that word are in the Western Hemisphere, and the reason they go by that word is because it's fairly a new word, but actually the Jewish came out with that term, Hebrew Israelite. But it is not the actual name of our people. Our actual name, the name that we're called, has a more African tone, a more flavored African tone to it. That African Hebraic pure language tone that it has. If you was walking through the lands of Africa today, and you was talking about Hebrew Israelite, and they are a Hebrew Israelite, but they're not going to understand what you were talking about, because within the actual pure Hebraic language, the African Hebraic language, that's not Hebrew Israelite. That's not that. But most of us use Hebrew Israelite because it's the most known term that most people understand. But anyway, that's where this thing is coming from. It is not the entire Israelite community, but it are those who are, for the most part, they don't have any understanding in that area, and the ones who do have understanding in that area, they teach differently. They teach contrary to history and contrary to the scriptures, and they teach, those in their congregation that information without anybody doing any background history research or studying within the scriptures for biblical proof. But again, it's not the balanced side of the Israelites who was teaching that doctrine. But maybe this video gave you some type of clarity on the situation about what's going on across social media and about why they are so upset about the movie, because it basically smacks them in the face, and it puts a light on Africa and uplifting it in a way that hardens their heart, because their whole, way of their whole way, as in how they've been taught, puts Africa in a negative position. And to be called African to them is a bad thing. but not to the balanced Israelites who do not subscribe to that particular doctrine. I just wanted to make that clear. And I can encourage you all to go off and do your own research and get the truth behind all of these things, okay? But anyway, shalom, and you all have a blessed day.